So here is a gameplay video for Spacers. We're going to be playing a solo game today, and I managed to set up pretty much all of the solo game on this tiny little end table here, just with some other components over there, the rulebook and the tech pieces. Small caveat, I will be discarding cards on this little side table just to save room on this little table here. So the game is pretty much set up. This isn't going to be a total, rules explanation video. It's mostly just going to be gameplay, but I will be walking through most of my decisions and what I'm doing. So you should be able to glean a bit of how to play from watching this video. So as I said, most of the game is set up. I'm going to draw my one starting boost card. So I got a shields up card, which gives me a little defensive bonus. And then for the solo game, I'm going to draw my 5. I got the solo cards over here. I'm going to draw my 5 solo objectives, and we'll take a look at those. Again, these are all prototype components, so all of this is subject to change. For my solo rules, you must earn 7 fame. So here's the the status board, and you can see I'm the orange player, so I'm at 0 fame, and I need to get all the way to 7 fame on the end here. And my goal is to do that as quickly as possible, while at least three of those fame must be earned by the 3 of the 5 solo objectives that I've drawn. So this game I've drawn rule number 1, save your parts. So earn a fame by completing a tinkering mission. This is earn a fame by completing a combat mission, earn a fame by completing a science mission, salvage mission, and then selling raw cargo that I either mine from an asteroid or dredge from a nebula. So a lot of mission related objectives here, and one gathering objective basically. So I'm going to be focusing primarily on missions, it seems. So with that, the game is set up and ready to go. So I'll go ahead and take my first turn. So I've spawned on planet Han, which is here, right there on the star map. There's a blip token nearby, and I've got some potential sales to make too if I wanted to get some early money and fame from, I could buy this red and take it to Queloth or to Bwong or to Vandar, because 3 separate planets need red, which is parts, which is a potential route I could go. However, I'm gonna try and knock out some of these missions from the start. So I'll take a business action. So each turn you take 2 actions. I'm gonna start with a business action, which is explained on the back. I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see, I think I will start out with, which one of these should I try and tackle right now? Also, this planet has a good benefit here. We've got the mission network on this planet. So this planet's each planet has a special feature that you discover once you've landed. So since I started on Han, I see that this planet has a mission network, which means I can draw an additional mission card. So that's a good planet to start on, especially with all these solo objectives being mission oriented. So I'll go ahead and do that. Let's take a business action. So for my first business option, I will find missions. So I'm going to draw 3. However, I'm going to draw 4 in this case. So here are the mission cards that I drew. I got lucky with the tinkering missions. I drew 2 tinkering missions. Sorry, the shadow is a bit weird here, but I got reactor construction, so that would make me go to the red beacon, which is pretty close, and do a tinkering action. This one requires me to go to the violet beacon, which is a little farther away. I've got a shipping job I can do. Yeah, I might take that one as well, or the smuggling job. I think I'm going to grab this reactor construction mission and this biological transport mission, because you're allowed to take 2 missions at a time. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab both tinkering missions. So now that I've got those 2 missions here, keep them face down because I haven't started them yet, I'm going to go ahead and use my second business, my second order of business to buy some tech. So I'm going to buy something that makes me more likely to succeed at those missions. So if we look at the tech, they're over here. I'm going to buy this mech arm here for 3,000. That'll leave me with 1,000 left over. And so now I've got a mech arm on my ship, which will make me better at tinkering actions because both of these missions require me to tinker. So that's a good purchase there. All right, so that was my first action. Second action is I'm just gonna move. So I can move 3 spaces. So here's how movement works. So I'm on Numen, I'm on Han, which is here. So I'm gonna go 1 to leave the planet, and then I'm just gonna go 2, 3. I'm not gonna, so these are encounters basically. If you touch them, you don't have to encounter them, you can just fly over them. So that will be my first turn. So now we'll move on to the neutral phase, which takes place in between player turns. So first thing we do is, so this little first player marker tells us everything we do. So first thing we do is the merchant actions. And all of these are explained on the back of the rulebook, has a good sequence of play and merchant and how you run the whole neutral phase. I'll go ahead and walk you through it. So the merchant is just going to move 3 spaces towards its next planet on the route, and we can see that its route marker is above Han, so he's actually moving towards my planet. So he's gonna come onto the board 1 and then head towards Han over there. So he's gonna go 2, 3, and that's it. And then the hunter is on Zoria, and he's going to move towards Vandar. So he's gonna go 1, then Vandar's this red planet, he's gonna go 2, 3. And that's it for the ships. There were no missing demands, so we skipped that part. Next we move on to any combat cards. There are no combat cards in play, no missing blip tokens. And then we move on to the event. So we get our first event for the game. We'll see what that is. It's a star map update. So at the end of each neutral phase, including this one, roll a die to determine which planet's tile is switching places with the star tile. Okay, so basically we're getting an automatic update to our star maps, and we're going to go ahead and roll to see which planet switches places with this tile. So we roll a 3, so 1, 2, 3. So Numen is going to switch places with this. So I'll go ahead and switch those up. All right, so round 1, and already the board state has changed. Normally this tile is inaccessible, so the center of the board, the board is basically a ring shape. But now we've got more of a horseshoe shape because this is off to the side. So now all of this area is accessible to us. So that's going to go ahead and free up our movement a bit, it seems. However, there's basically a wall here now because we got a nebula that you can fly through, but it's hard to get to because there's a sun here and a bunch of asteroids. So this whole part of the map is basically inaccessible now, which is fine. We have a more direct route across the star system now, which is cool. So that's it. We did an event, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to my turn. So my turn 2, I'm still trying to get to that red beacon over there because I have a mission to go there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a move action, just to go 1, 2, 3, and then I didn't quite get there. So my next action will be another move, and I will go there and stop. So that'll be it for my turn this round. So we'll move on to the neutral phase. He's going to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. He still hasn't landed on Han. He's going to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. There's no missing demands, no missing blips. Now we have to roll again to see where the star is going to move. So let's see, a 2. So he's actually going to switch places with this tile now. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera. All right, so we've switched the star and Han's planet tile, which basically means the star is going to be off to the side the whole game. So now we have this whole board that's going to be open to us. No real clear obstructions when we're trying to fly around, which is cool. So we did the event, which we advance here. And that'll be the last time we do that, because next time we advance the event, we'll replace it and draw a new card. Now we're moving on to my turn 3. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, reveal this mission, because I'm going to do it now. So reactor construction. Engineer taps away on a data pad while addressing you. We're constructing a portable reactor in our territory. You may be able to provide some assistance. So I will now, for my first action, I'm going to take a tinker action, which all I do is roll a die. And I'm on the red beacon, which is right underneath me. So now I'm going to power up my mech arm to give me +1 to this tinker roll. So I spend an energy to activate this mech arm, and then I roll a die, and we'll see how I do on this mission. Okay, so I got a 3, which would normally mean poor performance and I fail the mission, but since I added my mech arm, I got a 4, which brought me up to a successful attempt. I get 1 fame and 3,000 space bucks. Go ahead and get my money right there on my ship. I can discard this mission card, and more importantly, I get my fame. So we got 1 fame here, and then I completed this solo objective, earn a fame, by completing a tinkering mission. So I flip this card and draw a boost card. So I'll flip this over, and it says complete. And I've unlocked the articulation driver. Each mech arm may now consume 2 energy instead of 1 to increase its bonus to +2. So that's why I wanted to take another tinkering mission, because this bonus is going to stay with me the whole game. So I have, my mech arm is basically more powerful now, which is great. And then I get to draw my boost card. I get overtime. So this lets me, so normally you can only hold 2 missions. So I've only got 1 now. But as long as you have this card, if you play it, you can hold a 3rd mission. And then once you're back down to 2 missions, the normal 2 mission card limit is reinstated. So that's cool, because we have a lot of missions we're going to be focusing on this game. So that's a good boost card to draw. Okay, so that was only my first action. I've got 1 more action. My other mission requires me to go to the violet beacon, which is over here. So I've got a wall of asteroids. These are hazardous to fly through. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because I'm lucky I have this shields up boost card that'll help me get through them if I manage to take any damage. So let's take my move action now. We're gonna go ahead and move 3 spaces. 1, 2, and since we're on that, we have 1 more space to move, but we gotta make a dodge. So we're basically subtracting this roll from 4. Okay, so I successfully dodge. It essentially means I take -2 damage, which, you know, you can't take less than 0 damage. So I'm all good, and then I'll move 1 more space. So I flew through those asteroids successfully, and now I'm even closer to my next mission objective. So moving on to the neutral phase, start with the merchant. So the merchant is still flying towards Han. So he's in orbit basically, and he's gonna land. The merchant lands right there. Here's what's happening when the merchant lands. We advance his marker down his route. So next he's gonna be flying towards Numen. He's gonna get 2,000 space bucks. We're going to put them on his space on the Hunter merchant card. And then we're going to change the supply and demand of Han. So I missed out on buying that red on Han, because now they sell pink, which is chemicals, and they need minerals. So the merchant is going to basically fly around, get richer, and change the economy. Next, there are no missing demands, so we move on to the hunter actions. He's just flying towards Vandar still, so he's gonna land on Vandar. And just like the merchant, we're gonna advance his route. So now he's flying towards Queloth. Alright, that's it for them. There are no combat cards. There are no missing blips on the board because we have all 4. Anytime you have less than 4, you draw a new blip. And then we advance the event. So this event ends because there's no more room for it to advance. We reveal a new one. There's a Star War. So As interplanetary relations evolve, a bitter trade dispute erupts into an all-out war. Fighters from both sides take to the stars to engage in aggressive negotiations. So, let's go ahead and roll to see which two planets are going to war. So, I rolled a 2, which is Han. So, yeah, because 1, 2. Han is going to war with the planet to its left. So, Buang. Han and Buang are at war. So, this card says bounty tokens to put on there, but I've actually since then updated it to make these event tokens. So, we put an event token on Buang and an event token, on Buang and then one on Han to denote that they are at war. So, these planets cannot be landed on while they're at war. And when you move onto this tile or start movement on it, roll to dodge as if we're in asteroid space. Oh boy, okay, so I'm basically me flying by Buang, you know, going on my happy way, and then suddenly a war erupts and now I'm caught in the crossfire. So that was it for the event phase, or the event action. So now we'll go on to my turn 4, I think we're on. So if I want to move, I'm trying to get to the violet beacon, I gotta dodge out of this war zone. So here we go. I'm gonna roll the die. I roll a 4, so I'm good, because you basically subtract your roll from 4, and that's how much damage you take. It's a 50-50 chance whether or not you take any damage. So I take no damage. I fly down to the violet beacon, avoiding the war zone. And now I'm going to attempt, as my second action, another Tinker action. So I'll reveal this mission. So this is, obviously the story stuff is what happened when I accepted it, not while I'm out in deep space. Technician waves a spanner to get my attention. Hey, my boss needs a satellite repaired, but my ship is in the shop. Take care of the job for me, will ya? Yeah, I can do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do a Tinker action. I'm gonna use my articulation driver that I unlocked to basically spend 2 energy to give this mech arm a +2. So I now got a +2 to my roll. Let's see how I do. I rolled a 5, which is great because that turns into a 7. So I got a solar charging capability increased. So that's huge. So I got 5,000 for that, which is awesome. And another fame. So I'm up to 2 fame now. 2 out of my 5 fame, which is pretty good for turn 4. Okay, that'll be my turn because I moved out of the war zone and then I landed. So let's see about getting through this neutral phase. So the merchant first is going to move 3 spaces towards Numen from Han. So the merchant and hunter ignore all event related rules unless the event specifies. So they're going to ignore the war zone. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then the hunter is going 1 towards Queloth, which is way over there, the yellow planet. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And how the hunter and merchant move is they always ignore nebulas. They can fly through them, but they avoid asteroids if they can. So he's fine flying through that. Again, there were no missing blips, no missing demands. We advance the event card by 1. Now I'll move on to my turn. So I just completed this satellite mission, so that's discarded. I need to work on getting some more missions now because I basically have nothing to do. The world is my oyster. Got a ton of money for, you know, re-outfitting my ship. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'd like to fly back to Han to use that mission network, but they're currently at war, and I don't want to fly through that war zone again, and it'll take me more than 1 turn to get over there. Let's fly to Numen, just because it's close, and the merchants go in there. Actually, no. Oh, yeah, they are. So they might change the demand up a bit, so I might actually try and buy some supply. Oh, no, it's going to change by the time I get there. Anyway, let's just go to 3, and 1 more move action to just go to go 1 space and land. And since we land on a new planet, we get to keep this money as a little bonus, and we get to see what they have here. So A shady cantina. So this planet is good for paying off and placing bounties because it costs 1 less to do it, 1,000 less. Gonna be probably less effective for me since I'm not gonna be, hopefully I'm not gonna be gaining any bounty and I can't really place any bounty. So not the best planet feature, but you get what you get. Move on to the neutral phase. Merchant is going 1, 2. And so ships normally can't stack on the same space on the board. You can fly through them, but you can't stop on them. But on planets, any number of ships can be on a planet. Anyway, we'll advance this. Give them 2,000. I'm sorry, just 1,000. I think I gave them 2,000 earlier on accident, so they should have a total of 2,000 extra. And then we'll replace these. So we'll draw. So they are selling green, which is bio, and they are purchasing, blue. They have blue in demand, which is plasma. Plasma is one of those that cannot be bought on a planet. It has to be collected from space, which is why you'll never see orange or blue in the top supply spaces. If you do draw those, you just replace them with a new one. Okay, so that was the merchant. Moving on to the hunter. He's flying towards Queloth still. 1, 2, 3. Good. And now there were no missing demands or blips, so we'll advance the event. So the Star Wars almost over. I could actually probably capitalize on, no, the Star Wars is going to end before I would have a chance to engage it unless I go now. And I'd like to buy a cannon. So this event, you're allowed to participate in the war. You can go there and fight and potentially get some fame. However, I'm not going to have time to do that because I would like to outfit my ship with a cannon or a set of cannons maybe before I did that. But since I'm going to be spending my time buying stuff and then moving, the war is going to end before I get there. So that's too late to take advantage of that. But we can focus on these missions still, or these objectives. So for my first action, I'll take a business action. I'll do my first to search for a mission. So I'll draw 3 of these and we'll take a look at them. Okay, so we drew a science mission, a salvage mission, and a hunting mission. I think I'm going to take both of these simply because my objectives require both of these, which is great. I can knock out 2 of my objectives if I complete these, and then I'll have the rest of the game to do whatever I want, which is cool. So I'm going to take these, put them down, and then for my second order of business, because you can do, for a single business action, you pick 2 items from this list. You can do the same one twice if you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to re-outfit my ship here. So I'm going to buy some tech. I'm going to spend, let's see, I'll spend the 3,000 on a scanner to make me better at science for that science mission. I might buy a second one just to make extra sure that I'm totally set for that. So I'll spend 3 of this 5, take back 2 and change to buy a second scanner just to ensure that I'm totally set. And then I can still buy tech because this is all part of the same order business. I'm still buying tech. I'm going to spend 2,000 to replace my mech arm with a cargo pod. You don't actually get money for replacing these tech pieces, but I had enough to spare, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I think that's it for my business action. Now I'm just going to move. So we need to get towards, for the science mission, we need to get towards the green beacon, which is pretty close. I might as well cut through this nebula just to save some time, and the hunter is going to be moving away from me, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and we'll go ahead and see how this nebula works. It's basically the same as an asteroid flying into the tile. You roll to dodge, I rolled a 4, so I don't lose any energy. But yeah, instead of taking damage, you would lose energy, which is used to power your tech. So we can we safely navigated through there, and now that's my turn because I took my business action and then I moved. So neutral phase, merchant is moving from Numen towards Queloth. So he's going 1, 2, 3. Oops, yeah. So he went 1, 2, 3, and then the hunter's also moving towards Queloth, 2, 3. Luckily for the merchant, the hunter is out of range of him, or else the merchant would have had to bribe him not to shoot him. That's how the hunter works. He shoots at anybody he's close to, unless you pay him. And there were no missing demands or blips, so we will advance the event. So the Star War ends, so we can take these event tokens off the board. And let's see what our next event is. Space-time paradox. An outrageously irresponsible experiment has created a strange shift in the space-time continuum. The scientist responsible for this has not been born yet. So players may now move between planets by moving their ships along the landing zones on the status board as if they were normal spaces. So basically now, I'll take my ship off here. If we're on these planets, we can fly like this. I can go like 1, 2, 3. So I'm basically flying through little like wormholes or something, which is great for moving around really fast. I can't really take advantage of it right now because I have a destination I'm going to, and it's only going to be in play for 2 rounds. So unlikely that I'm going to be able to take advantage of that, but that can be a super powerful event during a multiplayer game because you can just zip around and especially when none of the planets have been explored, you can just boom, 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 and explore 3 of them and get 3,000 space bucks really quick, which is super useful. Anyway, moving on to my turn. I'm already in this nebula, so I don't have to dodge anymore. So I can just go 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more as my second move. Would have been really nice to buy a thruster, actually, over there, the green one, because that'll give me +1 movement if I spend an energy, but I didn't buy it. So that's my turn, just moving. And then we'll move on to neutral again. 1, 2, so the merchant can't move there because he's obstructed, so he'll stop there. And then 1, 2, 3, hunters moving towards Numen now. And then we'll just advance this event again. So this is the last round that the space-time paradox is in play, which is fine. We just didn't get to take advantage of it. Moving on to my turn, I am going to perform a science action to attempt this mission. So it says I need to perform a science action while on the green beacon. I am on the green beacon because I flew over there last round. I'm going to power up both of my scanners so I don't have, so like the scanner normally gives you a +1. I bought 2 of them so I can power both of them up. Boom, boom. So now I have a +2 to my next science roll. Go ahead and roll the die. I get a 3, which is normally a failure. That turns into a 5, which is from 4 to 6, a success. I recovered a strange fungi while out here in space. So I get 1 fame, which is good. Almost halfway, almost over halfway there. I get 3,000 for completing the mission. There's my money. Go ahead and stack this up. And then I completed the blinded with science objective. So I go ahead and flip that. So now I've completed 2 of these. I've unlocked telemetric scanning, which means it's basically the same as my mech arm bonus. So, but for scanners. So now if I wanted to, I could spend 4 energy on my turn to give me a +4, which is pretty intense. We'll see if that comes into play later. But I've got 2 of my 3 objectives complete. I've got 3 more possible to do, and I'm 3 fame, 3 out of 7 fame. So that was my first action. So I can still move on and do something else. We're gonna go ahead and fly towards the shattered planet here because that's for my the salvage mission I got, which is another objective. I can fly over there and go ahead and complete that. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, and that'll be it for my turn. Let's go on to the neutral ships. So merchant goes 3 spaces, stops there. Hunter is going 1, 2, 3, and now, because he's flying towards Numen, and he takes the shortest route possible, now we get an example of when he would actually shoot. So he's within range, because 2 spaces is the attack range, and the merchant is just going to pay him 1,000 to not shoot him. The merchant always pays if he has the money. So he bribes them to not shoot at him. There were no missing demands and no missing blips. We've got all 4 on the board still. 1, 2, 3, 4. Advance the event. Let's see what we got now. A viral epidemic. Okay. So a deadly virus has spread across the planet. The government is desperately calling out to members of the scientific community for aid. Okay, so we need to roll a die to see which planet is being affected by the virus. Planet number 1, which is Buong. So the purple planet is affected by the virus. I could go and help them because I'm so good at science. I could probably blow that event out of the water. By the time I get there, I think it'll be over. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, I could definitely do that, and I might do that because that'll get me a fame, and then I can always go back and do this mission later. So that'll be cool. Let's go ahead and do that. So for my turn, I'm gonna go ahead and move twice. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, I was here. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I flew around the nebula because I don't want to lose any more energy because it's going to be important for powering up my scanners for this mission. So that'll be my whole turn, just moving twice. We're going to land the merchant on Queloth, advance this, give him $1,000, and change these demands and supply. So now they are selling red, and you draw these randomly, by the way, you don't choose them. And they need green. Okay, then we'll go ahead and move him. He's going to go 3 spaces towards me because he's going towards Numen. I'm going to go ahead and pay him. Now, normally, anyone can pay him off, but if I were to say have a bounty on me, I'm not allowed to pay him in that case. And if I didn't have any money, obviously, I couldn't pay him and he would shoot at me. But in this case, I can pay him 1,000. It goes on his card. It said, don't shoot me, please. Here's my money. Just don't hurt me. Okay. And then we advance the event 1 space. And now, my turn again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I do get to discover this planet, which is good. So I get my 1,000, and then we reveal this planet feature, Intel Market. So you can sell boost cards here for 1,000. So I have 2 boost cards. I could sell them if I wanted and get $1,000. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and take my second action, which will be a science action, because while I'm on this planet, I can only do science or move to leave. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'm going to power up all my scanners, both my scanners. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 to use my telemetric scanning to give me a +4 bonus to this roll, which is insane. Go ahead and roll. So I get an 8, so 7+. I develop a fast-acting cure, so that's great. So I cure the event, or I cure the virus, basically, which is cool. So this says 1 fame, 5,000, and I end the event. So take my 5,000, I get a fame, boom, and I end the event, which means I can remove this event token and remove this. That's cool. Okay, so we've completed, we've cured that viral epidemic, and that's the end of my turn because I flew there and then did my science action. So we're going to go ahead and go on to the neutral phase. So first things first, the merchant is going to move towards Vandar. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to land on Numen. 1, 2, 3, and advance this. And that's it. Oh, we're gonna get another event now because there are no more, the marker is taken off, so the event was over. Seller's Market. After selling 2 or more cargo cubes in a single transaction, take an additional 1,000. So this is good if you're playing a mercantile game if you're buying and selling on planets. I'm not doing that right now because my objectives do not tell me to do that, but this event is really good for that. Make a lot of extra money. Okay, moving on to my next turn. I still have these to do. I'm very low on energy, and I don't actually have to do that salvage. I do have a salvage mission, but I might not want to do that now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for missions. Let's do that first. So let's draw 3 mission cards. We'll take a look at those. Yeah, okay, not very exciting for me. I've got a shipping job, a hunting job, and a science job. I mean, obviously I would excel at the science one, but I've already done some science, and I'm not too interested in doing another one. So we're gonna go ahead and discard those, and instead we're gonna work on re-outfitting our ship to be better at doing what we're going to try and do. So I'm gonna buy tech. I might take my whole turn to do 2 mission actions. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy some tech. I do want to buy a thruster, so I'll replace my scanner with a thruster for 3,000. 3,000 space bucks, and that'll help me go faster, which is always good. And then I'm gonna spend I'm gonna save 1,000 in case I run into the hunter to pay him off, but I'm gonna buy 6 more energy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to fill up my ship a bit. Yep, and then now that that's done, I could actually, I guess I don't need to take a second action right now, or a second business action. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my second action to move. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'll just spend 1 energy to go 1 extra space. That's how thrusters work. And then that's my turn. So moving on to the neutral phase once again. Let's go. The merchant is flying towards Vandar, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 3. There are still no missing demands. The hunter is flying towards Han, so 1, 2, 3. Luckily he's out of range of me, so I don't have to pay him. And then no missing blips on the board and no combat cards. So we advance the event. The seller's market goes up by 1. Back to my turn. So we're just trying to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So I'll end my turn basically ready to start salvaging to complete my salvage mission. So that's all good. And move on to the next neutral phase. Let's see. He's going towards Vandar still. 1, 2, 3. He's going to land on Han. 1, 2. This is going to move over towards Blong. And we advance the event once more. So the game starts to move really quickly once you've got a plan and you're taking really quick turns. So now we're back onto my turn. I'm going to go ahead and attempt this salvage mission by taking a salvage action. So I don't actually have to reveal this mission until I find what I'm looking for. In this case, I'm looking for pink. So there's no energy or anything you can spend for salvaging. You just draw randomly from, normally you have a bag. I got a little cup here. I'm gonna draw 3 cargo without looking. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Okay, I did not find what I was looking for. However, as part of the salvage action, you draw 3 cubes and you can keep up to 2 of them. So I'm gonna keep these 2 blues because that'll help me in the future if I want to sell them to Numin, because the merchant's not gonna be there for a really long time. So they're gonna need blue for a long time, so that's good. And then this goes back in the bag. I'm gonna take my second salvage action, or my second action, just to salvage again and see if I can grab what I need. So I grabbed a green, a pink, that's good, and orange. So I've got a bio, I've got a chem, and I've got an orange. So I'm obviously going to keep the chem, put that in my cargo pod. Normally it can only hold 2 cargo, but I bought this cargo pod because I knew I would be salvaging. And since I found that chem, I can reveal this. So now this chem is designated for this mission, which I need to take to Vandar, which is pretty dang close to me, literally right next door. Might as well hold on to, I'll hold on to this, the orange one, the minerals, and then I'll throw away the bio. Okay, so that's my second action. So I started this mission, which is great. I found that chem that I needed. Move on to the neutral phase. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, land on Vandar, replace these. We've got, okay, so I drew, normally you replace the supply first. I drew orange. Can't be orange or blue. So I drew a pink. So they are selling chem. And I drew, and I also drew a pink. They can't match. So replace that. Minerals. Oh, cool. So I happen to draw minerals, which is great because I can sell that and get a little extra money. I won't get fame because you only get fame for selling at least 2 in a single transaction, but I can get some more money if I do want to sell that. So there are no missing demands. Move on to the hunter. He's moving 3 spaces towards Buong. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, stop there. And then there are no missing blips on the board and no combat cards, so we advance the event. So the seller's market, oh, okay, never mind, we're good there. Hunted hunter. So until this, so it looks like the hunter was caught in a solar flare. So until this event ends, the hunter receives -1 to all dodges instead of the normal +1. So yeah, normally the hunter, when you attack him, he gets +1 to his dodge. However, now he's getting a -1, so he's a lot easier to kill now. You don't get fame for attacking him, but you could have, like for example, if I had one of these missions earlier, these hunting contracts, for example this one, it's to attack the hunter, and you get money based on how much damage you deal. So that would have been a good mission to have if this event came up, but I didn't grab that one, so probably not going to take advantage of that. So you can see like the world kind of moves even if you don't touch it. You can have an effect by, you know, selling things or discovering planet features, but these events just kind of make the world seem a lot bigger than you. There's things going on, there's wars taking place, and you're just kind of flying around doing your own little adventure, which is really fun. Anyway, back to my turn. Let's go ahead and move towards Vandar. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and this is cool. I can use my thruster to go 1 more and land on Vandar as that single action. So I've only spent 1 action and I'm already on Vandar. So first thing we'll do, so it says while landed on Vandar, discard the cargo. So I discard this chem to deliver it and immediately get a fame up to 5. So I'm up to 5 there, so I'm a space voyager. And I get 3,000 space bucks, which is awesome. And then I can complete this solo objective, earn a fame by completing a salvage mission. Just did that. Whoops, I dropped it down there. Okay. So I've completed one man's trash. I got the hyper accumulator. When performing a salvage action, you may draw and keep 1 additional cube. So that's cool. That's another way you could potentially get some cargo to sell. Instead of drawing and keeping only 2, you get to keep 3, that's a lot of cargo. Anyway, I'll discard this because I completed it. So now I've completed 3 of my 5. So I'm totally set. I just need to get to 7 fame now and the game is over and I win. And I'll get to see, based on how fast I completed the game, what my score is. So cool. So let's go ahead and, oh, and then since I landed on this as part of that action, I get this money and I get to see what this planet has for us. So there's a fixer. So this, before I draw mission cards, I can name a mission type. And if I don't draw that type of mission, I can immediately discard them and draw again, which is sweet. just helps you nail down what exactly you want to do, which is really cool. So I've only done one action. I'm gonna go ahead and do a business action because I've got some money to spend. Let's do this. Oh, and I get to draw a boost card for that solo objective. Payday. When gaining space bucks, ooh, I can play this to get an additional 2,000 anytime I gain money for any reason. Dang, that would have been, actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a business action. I'm gonna sell this one. I won't get fame for it because it's only 1 cube, but I'm gonna get a ton of money. So I replace this because when you fulfill a demand, you remove it from the board. I'll get 1,000 for the 1 cube, plus an additional 1,000 because it was in demand. And then I'll combo and play this payday card to get an extra 2,000. So I just basically tripled my money with a good combo of cards. So now I'll continue my business action. So I'm still on business. I've only done one thing, which is sell cargo. Yeah, I think I'll buy a cannon just for some assurance because I kind of want to go exploring now that I've got the freedom to do so. I've completed my, my objectives. So I'll spend 3,000 for the cannon, replace this cargo pod that I don't plan on using. And then that was my 2 things. That was my 2 business actions. So we're on to the neutral phase. Let's move the merchant, who I'm sitting on top of. So he's moving towards, I didn't advance this last turn, but I will now. He's moving towards Zoria. So he's going 1, 2, 3. And then the hunter is moving towards Buong. He'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, I skipped this part, but there is a missing demand, so we must draw another demand at this time. Okay, they need minerals again. I drew it again, which is fine. There are no missing blips, and we advance this event. All right, back to me. I'm gonna go ahead and while I'm here, actually, here's what I will do. I'm going to secure my last, I'm going to secure 1 fame by, because I still have this blue, and Numbin is, blue, plasma is in demand there. So I'm going to go ahead and try and fulfill that for them. So I'm going to fly 1, 2, 3, and for my second action, 1, 2, 3, spend an energy on my thruster to land on the planet for 4. So that will be my turn because I moved twice. Neutral phase, he's moving towards Zoria. 1, 2, 3. No missing demands. The hunter is going to land on Buong. Boom. Boom. Move this way. Loops around to this side. So he's now flying to Zoria along with the merchant. So they might cross paths again. And then there are no missing blips or combat cards in play. We will advance the event, see what our next event is. It's a shifty merchant. Okay, place a bounty token on the merchant's card. Okay, so we'll take a bounty token. So the merchant now has a bounty placed on him. Destroying the merchant while it has a bounty will not cause the player to gain a bounty. So normally if you kill the merchant, since he's innocent, you get a bounty placed on you. However, since he has a bounty, you won't get a bounty for killing him. And then, so now the merchant is just a bigger target because he's got a lot of money here. He's got, like 4,000 here. And then you get an extra 3,000. So you get 7,000 effectively for killing the merchant right now, which is huge. And he's pretty easy to fight. I don't really have any interest in that, but I can see how some players would. If I would have gone towards this like combat mission, I would have been better suited to attack things. But I'm not. I mean, I do have a cannon, but I'm not trying to kill the merchant right now. I'm trying to finish this game. That was the event. So now we move on to my turn. I'm on Numbin, so I'm going to take a business action to sell my cargo. I'm going to sell both of these blue plasma cubes. Take this blue off of here. That'll get me 2K for each cube, plus an additional 1,000 because it's in demand. So there's another 3,000 and a fame because I sold 2 cubes that were in demand in a single transaction. So I've only got 1 more fame to earn. So, and we've got all the freedom in the world to earn it how we want, because we've already got our 3 objectives done. Cool. So for my second business option here, I'm going to recharge my ship. So I'm gonna need some energy just to assure that I'm not stranded in space with no energy. So let's buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll get us from 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10, which is great. Full energy, 1 thruster, 1 scanner, a cannon. I'm feeling good right now. So that was our first action, to sell and then to buy energy. So now we can go ahead and, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? As part of this business action, you can always buy boost cards for 2K each. I'm only gonna hold on to 1K in case I run into the hunter. I'm gonna spend these 2K to see if I get a cool boost card here. Lock on. Play to increase the range of your attack actions by 2 until the end of your turn. That's actually kind of funny because I could move out here now. Oh no, he's gonna land. So it'd still be a while until I'm in range. But basically, I can shoot up to 4 spaces away right now with this lock-on card. But I'm probably not gonna use that. It was worth its shot though. So now, second action, I'm gonna go ahead and move. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, and park right there on that blip token because I'm gonna try to do some exploring for my last fame. So moving on to the merchant, he's gonna land right there, advance his marker around this way, back to this side. He's gonna get 1,000, and we're gonna replace this. So now they sell bio, and they need, nope, chem, pink. Okay. There is a missing demand over here, so we must replace that now. They need minerals. And now we move on to the hunter. He's moving towards Zoria, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and that's why I saved that 1,000. And then that's his actions. There are no combat cards in play. There are no missing blips. I'm on that one. It's not gone yet. And then we'll advance this. So this event stays in play the rest of the game until that bounty is removed. So we can replace it, but we still know that the merchant has a bounty, so you don't get a bounty if you kill him. Space comms. So now you can perform business actions next to the beacons to recharge your ship, buy tech, get missions. That's cool. What's the flavor text here? A network of experimental communications arrays is being tested. This new technology will be open to the public for a limited time while data is being collected. That's cool. So we could basically do some upkeep out in the middle of space instead of landing on planets, which is cool. But you can't buy cargo during that. You can't sell cargo. All right, my turn. So I'm going to start my first action with an explore action. So since I'm on a blip here, I'm going to draw an encounter card. Let's see what I get. Ooh, a small-time pirate. Okay. What did I find? A small-time pirate. A small vessel drifts towards you. A message is being transmitted. This here be my sector, you rock lover. Pay the toll or be sent to the void. Okay. So now when you draw these, you get to choose how you respond. And with a single-player game, you hide the other results from yourself. So I'm going to pick to attack him because I'm set for this. I got a cannon. He's a small-time pirate. He's nothing big. I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Oops, I knocked my boost cards. And then I'll go ahead like this. Use the solo setup card to hide. So I see my result there. Basically slide it from top to bottom until you see the thing you chose to do. Choose to attack them, which means it's a combat card. So I've got to fight him now. So what that means is I'll keep this card in front of me. I'll go ahead and move this because it doesn't matter now. I'm attacking him. I'm going to use my extra marker here to keep track of his health. So this is a combat card. When during the neutral phase, when I say combat cards attack, that's when these attack you. So basically, I get now to attack him. I get to start fighting him. So he has an attack of +0 and a dodge of +0. So I'm going to spend an energy right here to attack him. So we'll say the blue is mine and the green is his. Whoever rolls higher basically succeeds in this attack. So you got a 6 and I got a 5, which turns into a 6. We tied, so I basically missed that shot, which is a shame. Okay, so however, that was only my first action. I basically explored and found him and got a chance to attack him. So now I'm going to take a second action to attack. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to power up my cannon, spend an energy to give me +1 to this attack roll. The blue will be mine again. Alright, so this time I got a 4, he got a 1. So that's 3 damage. That's just enough to kill him. So it goes 1, 2, 3. He's dead. So I loot 3,000 from his body, basically, from his ship. Take 3,000. Oh, okay. So you're allowed to flee from these cards if you want. However, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to fight him. So basically I get 3,000, and then this check mark means I get to keep this blip token. Take it off the board, put it with my ship. So now I have that. And you can see on here, out of How to Gain Fame, I'm trying to explore right now. So if I have 2 of them, I can discard them for fame in 2,000. So I completed this one, so I can discard, take my marker off, just keep it there, and then I can discard this card because I've completed it. Cool, so that was my turn. I explored, found a pirate, and then engaged in battle with him, and blew him out of the sky before he was able to attack me. So now I'll move on to the neutral phase. The merchant is going to move towards Blanc, so he's going 1, 2, 3. And then the hunter, so the hunter's priorities are, when you're determining where he moves, either the last ship to attack him, and then if that doesn't exist, then the closest ship that has any bounty tokens. So right now the merchant has a bounty on him, so the hunter's actually going to fly here. The merchant cannot pay him off now because he's got a bounty on him. So now the merchant is in trouble. The hunter gets to shoot. And when the hunter attacks, he gets an innate +1 to his attack, +1 per bounty on the target. So the hunter is getting a +2 to this attack, and the merchant gets nothing to their dodge. So we'll go, the hunter is shooting with the blue, and the merchant's dodging with the green. So the hunter gets a 7 versus his 2. That's 5 damage. So the merchant is dead. All of this money goes to the hunter, and then another 3,000 goes to the hunter for that bounty. That's crazy. So we remove the bounty, move him from the board. We can just place him up here, and he drops 2 random cargo cubes. So we dropped a red and a pink right there when he exploded. That's 5. We'll just go ahead and change out one of those for a 5. That's a big stack. So the merchant is not going to be in play for a while because he was just destroyed. There is one. Okay, so now we'll move on. Move on to missing blips. We're missing 1 blip. So now you can see how we spawn blips here. So we make 2 die rolls. The first die determines what type of tile we put it on, and the second die roll determines which specific tile we put it on. And you can put it on any empty space on that tile. So here we go. We'll count the blue as the first roll and the green as the second roll. So 5, 5 means, so 5 through 6 is beacon, and number 5 is red. So we would place a blip token on the red beacon's tile. So we already have one on the red beacon, so we'll re-roll the second die because we already have one on the red. So we got a 1, so that's the violet beacon. And that's great because the violet beacon is literally right next to us. So I'm allowed to just put this beacon on any empty space on this tile, meaning featureless. So I can't put it there, I can't put it there or there. I can put it here though, because it's right next to me and it's on that tile. So cool, I've got the source of my next fame literally sitting right next to me as long as I can succeed at it. So we'll move on to advance this event, and then we'll move on to my turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna land right here as my first action, and then I'm going to explore for my second action. So I'll go up to the encounter deck, remove the hidden card. I found an anomaly. As you're traveling through the void, your instruments start acting up. You're picking up strange readings from a point nearby. Surely this must be some sort of anomaly that is worth investigating. And this is awesome because I have my scanner and I've got my telemetric scanning ability from my objective, so I can get a +2 to this roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the solo card. So I'm not looking right now, but I would hide this card like that. And then I would go until I reveal what I got. So scan anomaly, I got to make a science roll. Normally for the multiplayer game, another player reads the back of this card to you, so you're kind of having the story told to you. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and roll, and where are the dice? Over here. I'm gonna double power up my scanner because of my telemetric scanning, and I'll roll a die. So I got a 3, which is normally a failure, but because of my scanner, I got a 5 because of my telemetric scanning. You discover some sort of rift in space and time, but the means of navigating it stump you. Ooh, so if I would have rolled higher, I can basically teleport across the map somewhere, which is awesome. But in this case, I found the rift in space-time, but I couldn't navigate it. But I still get the token because I made some scientific discovery out there. So I'll take that token, and then guess what? Since I got 2 of these, I can immediately discard them for 2,000 bucks. Let's take them here and here. So I got 5,000 in the bank, and I get my last fame. So that'll be the end of the game. So let's see exactly how I scored. So I can see I'm on number 2 of this event. So I just count backwards. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I scored 18. So that I did get a rookie victory. So obviously the more, the better planning you do, the more quickly and more optimize your route, you're going to score better and get that pro or legend score. However, I had a lot of fun because I got to do my objectives really quickly, which freed me up to get fame how I wanted, and I got to do a little exploring, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. But we got a rookie victory. We still won. There's really no way to lose. You just try and see how well you do, and just try and explore as much of the game as you can. You can take, these objectives kind of set your course for you, but once you've completed them, that's less than half your score coming from those objectives, and then you're free to kind of do what you want. But these kind of give you, a little bit of a push in a certain direction from the start. So that's the solo game of Spacers, and I was able to fit it on this tiny little end table with, some minor exceptions, some discard piles and the tech. But yeah, so there's a quick example of how a one-player game would go, and I hope in the future to post some more gameplay and get a multiplayer game. I'll probably try and do a 2-player game next, and we'll see if I can go get some more players from there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more info on Spacers, and make sure you follow the Kickstarter pre-launch page, and check us out on the social medias and all that. So yeah, thanks for watching.